And welcome back, where we left off last time in the Long Dark, where we may, if I'm quick about it, and because of that we're not going to sit here and warm up. Quick about it, we may be able to get like one more mapping spot in, so let's try to do that. Or at least be closer to the next mapping spot, if we're not able to get it in. We got fatigue, and okay, we maybe don't have condition to burn, or calories to burn, but we got fatigue to burn. Can I shimmy through here? Not safely. Okay, I need to clear this. Which means we need to start a fire to clear this. Okay, so I don't think we're going to get any more mapping done because I need to spend time clearing brush and stuff out of the way. But we're going to start working towards the next location. We'll work through there on the night as well. We want down and shelter in place because there's a few things I need to clear out of the way. Preparation. Is that enough? That is enough space. We've got a nice fire here. So let's go ahead and just chop the other one up as well.
It's getting dark out here.
Yep.
Time to look for shelter.
Okay, we're warmed against this fire. I'll just set up a couple torches here before we move on. So we're not carrying around too much weight. And then we'll pull the last torch out of the fire. Don't think we're going to be warm once we get underway. Because that is a 16-degree fire. I think we're like +6 or 7 or something. No, we probably won't be freezing particularly fast either.
Feels like a lot of gear.
Oh, we do have to sprint. If we drink some water, would that get us light enough? Don't think so. No. 10 kilograms over stops you from sprinting. Oh, we climb. So my plan right now is to cut my way up to the mysterious signal fire. And once we're cut into that, we can probably just hunker down in the neighboring cave. Yeah, most of what we got left is waterfalls. There's 2 caves. One's on the lake that's back there. There's one on the peak. And the lake back there is actually also one of them. And then everything else I think is waterfalls. So basically see a waterfall, and it may or may not be something we need to map. Like I think the waterfall that we're just passing to our right here, the really short one, is not one of the important ones. But Okay, I don't appreciate how quickly we're getting cold. And again, we can't. We're not in a sprinting, carrying load situation right now. Maybe if we swap torches, will get us low enough. It's for a smidge. Yeah, now we can sprint there. It was good. Yeah, most of the places we need to map are up that corner. There's a mysterious single fire that was actually just above the cave we were in before. So you gotta be obviously in line of sight of it to map it. Was that actually where I wanted to go up? I may have missed my turn. Let's go back, figure out if that was the turn. Maybe not. Maybe it was. Yeah, we almost missed the turn there. Oops. Yeah, nothing on that. Nothing on that one. So I'm not going to throw a torch down, or fire down right away, because there is a cave just around the corner here. Otherwise, with my condition, I probably would stop to warm up. I didn't know there was like 5 seconds away from a cave. And then even then, I'm only going to be hanging out in the cave long enough, I think, to be warm again. Because then we're going to move forward to a bit of rambles that are going to block us from getting into the next signal fire. Both signal fires you can kind of billy goat into. I'm not really good at billy goating into them. We get an axe, so why would we billy goat into them when we can just do it the as designed path? Oh, I might have got a little bit close to this torch.
I might have to drop some.
Quickly make a fire in here to warm up. Just to preserve the ignition while we're in here. I'm a little bit worried this is the cave that has the wolves. And if it is the cave of the wolves, I don't want to get jumped by a wolf while we're warming up. Okay, well, I just ruined the whetstone. This is not an ideal place for me to leave a whetstone, but I love how it snaps to the cooking salt there. No, we're not going to cook the whetstone. Okay, I don't think we got anything worth repairing with... Well, actually, the full toque here is probably worth repairing. Grab that quickly. Which one will be warm? So let's take the torch and get on the route. Oh.
I need to drop
Hello,
something.
Twitch chatter. Those are 2 little dancing dinosaur emojis. Hope you're enjoying watching the Let's Play of The Long Dark. Alright, so this is the brambles we need to cut out of the way, so that's why we wanted to bring the fire over. And obviously we need to be warm at this fire, so we're going to lump coal in the fire. And we're going to get to chopping. And the blizzard rolled it. Okay. But at least in theory, out here we're safe from the wolves. So we just need to get back to the cave. No, I got enough matches. I'm going to light a torch and we're going to explore the cave. Make sure that if this is the one with the wolves in it, the wolves aren't up. Where we think we take a long nap that we don't wake up from. The cave will be warm, so we can take our time in the cave.
Cold is making my head feel thick. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, light torch. Oh, sadly not enough time on that fire for us to get a charcoal out. So we're a little low on charcoal. I'm going to follow the left-hand rule. This is one of the caves that if you're not careful is fairly easy to get lost in. And I have, when not recording, definitely got lost in here in situations where I don't have a torch. Okay, that's the dead end. A little bit of firewood there, but we don't need time, we need temp. And I got enough coal, so we're gonna have temp. I mean, that's why we're too heavy. Two human corpses in that portion of the cave, down a climb. We're not going to go down the climb because we can't get back up the climb. Well, we could get back up the climb, but we'd have to leave stuff up here that we might want. Plus, this cave isn't going to get me anywhere I want to go right now. Just exploring it to make sure there's no wolves in the cave, or at least our portion of the cave, so that it's safe to camp for 6 to 7 hours to wait out the blizzard. Lump of coal. Okay, so unless we go down the rope climb, I think we're explored the map up here. Which does imply that we're probably safe from the wolves, because the wolves are probably at the bottom of the rock climbs at the top. Otherwise we'd run into them already. Okay. So how do we want to pass the time? Sharpen the axe, which we'll do. Disassemble surplus torches. Yeah. So I know this is maybe not the most engaging of work right now, passing time, but we're trying to gain enough fatigue productively that when we sleep, we can sleep all the way till morning in one big burst and hopefully get a decent amount of condition recovery. Because I am uncomfortable in our level condition. If I'm careful, it's nothing to necessarily be super worried about. We are about at the hit points where if a wolf were to maul us, we could die. So obviously we don't want to get mauled by a wolf, which means we need to be real careful while outside. That's why I think this was one of the previous episodes, one of the first episodes in a long while where we actually used a flare. Because flares are the emergency for avoiding wolves when it's very windy out. And often I don't get caught in those emergencies if I'm proactive enough. Yeah, we'll disassemble everything below 49%. Because we just have so many torches. Okay. I've got 62 torches. Got a couple of those if it comes down to a real emergency. Real emergency. And I could prep a couple of rosehip for rosehip teas. At this point, I think we're done with what we're gonna do productively, unless I want to fire up the fire for cooking. The other thing to cook would be rosehip pie. Yeah, less rosehip pie, so we're not in a rush to do that right away. Make sure the lantern's full. For that, hydrate up and sleep for as long as the character will willingly sleep. Well, tell me he'd do 10. He's not going to do 10. Might just do short of 6. It'll probably be... If the weather plays along, it'll be mappable when we get to the signal fire location. Okay, we're going to lantern here so we can actually see. The cave entrance. See how bad the weather is.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay, so it's almost dawn. It's very early morning. And as is often the case with very early morning, it is blisteringly cold. But it's clear, so as soon as it is dawn, it will let us map. In fact, it may let us map right now, but we're not in location yet for that, so we'll get to where we need to go. Oh, so I was worried I was getting charged by the wolf there when that deer popped around the corner. The deer is, in fact, not the wolf. Yeah, and there's a way to billy goat in here. I haven't mastered it yet, so I don't do it. Usually when I come here, I have an axe or something, but I can hack my way in as a side effect. More skilled operators will be able to billy goat their way around and in, not have to clear the brambles that we cleared earlier in the episode. But I am not that skilled of an operator. Really cured leather. This is where the mysterious signal fire would be. Actually, somewhat surprised I'm not being told this is the signal fire, because it does tell us to map both of them. See if I can find a little bit of wind shelter
My fingers feel numb.
here, so we can get the map, get the fire going. And it's early enough in the morning that we have the ability to start a fire with a magnifying lens, so we're going to do that. I'm thinking I'm going to use a piece of coal instead. Well, no, we should use sticks. The sticks are just so heavy.
Come on.
How cold is it? 15 degrees. So slop in whole 20 sticks and we'll be good. I think that's going to give us way more time than we need. Okay, that didn't do what we're looking for. Or did it? Force reveal. Ventricles, Lake Cave, Mammoth Falls, Lake Cave, or Monolith Lake. So we got the two lakes. Or no, we got the cave on the lake. Fall, Peak Cave, Vista, Whirling Falls, Watchful Falls. Okay. So even though it's not on the map, oh, I thought there was two mysterious single fire. Either way, we got the mysterious single fire mapped. So maybe I didn't need to actually come here specifically, but it's fine. We've done it. We've been here. We saw it. We conquered. Now we're gonna warm up before we leave.
Looks like I made it through another night.
We're 6+ with a 21-degree fire. Yeah. This might seem weird. I'm going to start a second fire because I want a little bit more charcoal, a little lower charcoal. Too windy to start a fire. Okay. Gotta make sure I put the fire in the wind shelter then. I lost my torch. Lost the ignition on the torch. We're going to start a fire. The goal of this one just is to keep us warm. It doesn't need to be particularly warm. And then I'm going to take all the sticks out of the other one, so that it goes out. So we're at 6, the 20-degree fire. So let's add... Let's start with just adding 10 sticks. Start pulling sticks out of this one. See then where that gets us. Okay, so the wind has just did my work for me by blowing most of the temperature out of, most of the time out of the fire. We got 31 sticks, there's plenty of sticks. This is not enough time, so we've lost a stick in it. So we feel like 14, but I think we're getting both numbers from those fires. So let's disassemble a little bit of torch while we wait. So we can carefully watch the temperature change. And so as for food, we're going to be eating cattails, so I can chomp down on those cattails. Save us a little bit of weight. Okay, we got... Oh, we're still warm because we still got both fires, warmth bonus. We want one to turn... Well, we want one to actually go out. So let's pass a little bit of time while we wait for it to go out. Okay, we want time in this one, so shove the stick in. Waiting for those embers to turn into charcoal, please. And then we're right about here. So we're going to go back up to the cave, the ice cave, go across back to the river. We're going to go up to the river, and then where we were a little bit, we can cross over. And the top of this river, I believe, is another waterfall. We need a map. And then we're over in this area where we got the peak cave, the overlook, the lake cave, and a couple more waterfalls. 2 charcoal. Okay, it's a start. We're a lot lighter, so we can actually make decent time sprinting. So let's get a little bit of sprint on. I think we already checked, and there's no charcoal in this one, because the wind blew it out before it went an hour. Yeah, I believe it technically, from how much charcoal you get out, is how long the fire goes. So the wind blowing it out does also lose us the potential of the charcoal. It's a bit of a shame. Oh, I can't resist simply walking over a stick. Arguably, I don't need to be picking these sticks up. It's so much coal in the inventory. There's a wolf. Slightly in our way. You're lucky that I don't want to smell, otherwise you'd be on the menu. Don't know how those wolves plan on pathing to me, but I'll give them time to figure out. So yeah, don't think it's that waterfall. We can get over there and probably check, as we are roughly going that direction. Or maybe it is, well, it may also be that waterfall. But that's not the one I'm thinking of right now. I think this is another one farther along.
Can't feel my feet.
There's the waterfall I'm thinking of. Is that one, which we get told in a moment. There we go, Mammoth Falls. So that's definitely one of them, which means we want to get a fire going here. That will get us warm. It doesn't need to be a long fire, so it probably does make sense to make it a coal fire. Okay, we're sitting at -17, so we got slap one piece of coal in it.
Too cold.
Go for the map. And that is the river that sort of winds through up into here. Early enough in the morning that I'm not too worried about wasting a little bit of time. So we'll take a moment to warm up in our bedroll here.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Yeah, he's not leaving anything behind in this situation. He's gonna drink some water and eat some cattails, and we're gonna get en route. In fact, I see some more cattails that I might actually take a moment to pick up. I think the next fire we might also take the time to make some rosehip, the last batch of rosehip pie. Torch away, grab the torch, stand up and sprint. Oops. Grab the rosehip, or the cattails, and not put out the torch, please. Let me just do a little bit of run. Good old run, forest, and run. Where's the best place to map? In case those are places we want to map. Just down here, okay. Good thing I came over here to check these over Quarling Falls. So I hope everyone is enjoying us finishing up mapping Usher Valley. Bordering Falls. So that's leaving us with the wrong tab, this tab. 6 places to go. Waterfall, waterfall. We are actually starting to reach the point where it's mostly not waterfalls anymore. Good to know.
Pack is getting kind of heavy.
Back on the road we get. 6 more places to go, and then we will officially be done mapping Usher Valley. And in theory, having just achieved what would be Faithful Cartographer on Interloper difficulty. Well, lost fire just as we hit Monolith Lake. This is one of the places we need to map. Presumably if I want to map it, I want to find a little bit of wind shelter to do it from. Well, I would say it was sunny, but it's apparently gone back to overcast. before we wander off too far, let's... Yeah, no, went back to Overcast. Let's quickly start up a fire, get that map underway. I'm going to leave an hour of fuel in this fire, and we're not going to take the fire with us, take the fuel from the fire with us, just because I want to make sure that we can pick up some charcoal from here in a bit. Not going to get us warm enough. Actually, I'll put 2 hours of fuel in the fire. Just because I know that will get me warm. There we go, there's Monolith Lake. The waterfalls that are left, I believe, are on Monolith Lake, which is one of the reasons why I want to leave some spare charcoal, or leave the fire here so I can come back and pick it up for charcoal, because it will be pretty close by. I'm going to partially eat one of those pies, because I didn't eat the whole pie from a calorie perspective. We're warm again. We'll go ahead and take the ignition from this fire, but we're going to leave it here burning. If the wind will let me take the fire with me. So there's one of the waterfalls, there's the other waterfall, and that cave over there are 3 of our 5 remaining places, I believe. There we go, banner's full. Gonna slap a piece of coal in this one. Yeah, just slap a piece of coal in this one. Call it good.
Come on.
Will be a little bit overkill, but we got a lot of coal. If there's one thing I need right now, it's charcoal and not coal. There we go, there's Banner Falls. That fire's gonna burn for a bit. Warm. Actually, let's get a little bit of... Oh, I gotta do it on the ice. I'm gonna sleep in a sleeping room. We're just gonna snooze quickly for an hour. Give us a little bit of opportunity to try to get back charcoal these fires and get a little bit of condition while we're doing it. Alright. Let's check on the other one. Oops. If you're wondering what happened there, I accidentally wanted to check what the time of the day was and forgot that Shift-Tab is the Steam overlay. So I don't have Discord, or not Discord. Don't have OBS set to capture the Steam overlay, so you didn't see the Steam overlay, it just sort of looked like the game probably paused to you. Sorry about that, was my bad. How much left on this one? An hour? Yeah, that's annoying. Do the same with this one. Sleep an hour at it. Don't really want to pass the time, but, or is this considered ice? Too close to that. What? There we go. Big hour snooze. Don't really want to pass more time, but I need the charcoal at these fires. Also needed to not be a blizzard. Yeah, we got 2 charcoal. I can go grab charcoal from the other one, but what we're going to do is we're going to go run to the nearby cave to warm up. Which probably means the mapping for this part is probably done, because I don't think we're going to get the ability to map This is the wrong direction. Village map again for next morning. Probably gonna have to wait out the blizzard at least, and at that point it's gonna be nighttime, so on and so forth. There's Watchful Waterfalls. Watchful Falls that we want to map. Here's the cave we want to map. I don't think it's going to let me map the cave mid-blizzard. Here's Lake Cave. Frozen Ravaged Carcass.
I might have to drop some gear.
Sewing Primer. Sewing Primer might actually be the worst of things to find. I haven't capped out sewing yet, so...
Tongue feel.
We can try to quickly read that book to pass the time. There we go. And this is probably not mapping weather. Yeah, no. So this is probably... I'm going to take a long rest here and here, because I'm just going to assume... Assuming can be dangerous, but I'm just going to assume we're warm enough in this cave with all our equipment. I'm going to take a long rest here. And either regret it or be rewarded for it. And with that, that is a good place to put a part break. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow, because I'm going to record another part. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to take a short break, but after that short break, we're going to get back to playing this game. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. Bye for now.